Hello students, this is the second lecture of trigonometry. Now we have studied about little bit the graph of sine and cosine function. Now in this lecture we'll see the graph of tan function, sec, cosec function, and through this we can find the range and domain of the function. And in this lecture we are going to study about the quadrant first, second, third, fourth. In this quadrant, how the sine, cos, tan, and the other angles, the trigonometrical angles will work, and how the sign will change and how the function will change. Right? This is the basic of trigonometry. So be careful, right? We have to understand this very well so we can apply in the very good questions of trigonometry. So let's start this. Hello students, in last lectures we have seen the graph of y is equal to 10x. Right, seen this graph between 0 to pi by 2, first quadrant positive, second quadrant again negative, third quadrant positive, and this is already we have seen this is known as the fourth quadrant and this is negative. So this we can say first, second, third, and fourth quadrant. So these two are for positive and this is for negative, right? So this is the graph. This graph is always increasing graph, right? And this will discontinue at 90 degree or 270 degree and so on, right? Now, if we want to draw the graph for Cortex, and Cortex is the like reciprocal of tan, so you can see the graph will be always decreasing because we know that tan x is equal to 1 by Cortex, right? So reciprocal to each other. At 90, this will be 0, right? And first quadrant is positive, second quadrant is negative, third quadrant is positive, and fourth quadrant is negative, right? The reciprocal graph will be same, but the increasing and decreasing will be changed, right? 0 to pi, tan was increasing, but cot will decrease itself, right? At 0, this was 0, tan was 0, but cot will be not defined, and so on, right? And positive, negative, we can see only at the first and third quadrant, this is positive, and second and fourth, this will be negative, right? Basic graph of, right? Sec, we know that this is the reciprocal of 1 by cos x, right? Since we know that cos x lies between -1 to +1. So reciprocal of this will be 100% always greater than 1 or less than -1. So sec x as well as the cosec x, right? One to infinity and minus infinity to -1, right? For cosec x also, you have to remember. And the property when this will be positive or negative will be same as this is for cos x, right? Cos x and sec x will be same in both ways. See, this is the first quadrant and this is the fourth quadrant. And see, in both first and fourth, sec is also positive. Cos was also positive, but in second quadrant and in third quadrant, this is negative, right? So it's very easier to go for the positive or negative. Just we can see this, right? Right. Then again, cosec will be the reciprocal of 1 by sin x, right? Again, this value, cosec value will be always greater than equal to 1 or less than equal to -1. So graph will be going greater than 1 or less than -1, right? This is between -1 to 1. No graph is possible for cosec as well as sec, right? So in these portion, right, we know how to draw the graph. And if you want to change something, right, as we have seen, cosec does not lie and sec does not lie between -1 to 1, right? This could be the graph, right? We want to change some question, like it's given, draw 10x in between 0 to pi by 2, right? Exactly at pi by 2, this is not defined. So just pi by 2, we show that this tending towards infinity and going to infinity, something like this. This line is known as asymptotes, tangent at infinity. Well, later on, we will study about this, this graph, how this graph will work, right? But this graph is lying between 0 to 90. We can also write pi by 2. Pi by 4 is the 45-degree, right? So this angle is going for this, right? Between 0 to pi by 2, first quadrant, and this is positive and increasing graph. At pi by 4, you are getting value 1, and accordingly we can see this, right? Okay, now if we are going for cos square x, so what we have to do, right? We know that if we are squaring the number, so negative portion, right? The negative portion is going to the positive one. So overall graph will be always positive for cos x, right? So between 0 to pi, earlier it was negative in second quadrant, but it will be positive, right? The stiffness of the graph will be little bit changed, that we will talk about this later on, how this we have to take care of that, right? Now, if we have to draw the graph of y is equal to sine 2x, right? How to go for sine 2x graph? See, the same graph will be there, but, right? This is the graph of sine x. This was the graph of sine x, but this point was pi, means 180-degree, right? This was pi by 2, and so on, right? So if we are going for the graph for sine 2x, what we have to do, we have to divide this x-axis by 2 only, right? Each and every point we have to divide by 2, right? This pi by 2, right? This pi by 2, the pi was there for sin x, now it's going for pi by 2. This 360 was there, this is going for 360 by 2 will be 180-degree, right? So accordingly, we have to divide for any sine nx graph, right? Sine nx graph, we have to divide the x-axis, the all the coordinate by an unit, right? Or multiply by, right? It depends on, if you want to draw the graph for sine x by 2, then you have to divide by 1 by 2, then 2 will be multiply on that, right? So these are the few graphs when you have to, right, draw for that, right? Now, use of graph. Now, use of graph or use of the coordinate in this form, we can say, okay, like the angles are given 90 plus theta, 90 minus theta, right? 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta, 270 minus theta, 270 plus theta. Accordingly, we'll go for 360 minus theta. 360 plus theta is theta only, right? So we have to remember this, like if we want to go for 90 plus theta or 90 minus theta, this is sine, right? For sine of 90 plus theta, if we have to deal with 90 plus or minus theta, or odd multiple of odd multiple of 90, right? 90 means pi by 2. Odd multiple of 90 plus or minus theta, the sign will be changed to cos, right? So in this case, in this case, in this case, and this case, sign will be changing to cos. The first thing, when there is an odd multiple of 90 plus or minus theta, sign will be changed to cos. If there is a cos, right? So cos will be changed to sine, right? And if tan is there. So this tan will be changed to cot. In all the cases when there is a sign for 90 plus or minus theta, right? And sec or cosec will be changed to each other as cosec, 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 right? So for any 90 plus minus theta or odd multiple of 90 plus minus theta, sine will change to cos, cos will change to sine, tan will change to cot, cot will change to tan, sec will change to cosec, cosec will change to, right, sec. Now this will be theta only, this will be theta, everything will be theta, right? But we have to see this will be positive or negative, right? This will be positive or negative, right? How we can judge this will be positive or negative is a very simple thing. So the first rule is, right, when you have to change this for sine theta or cos theta, or otherwise for 180 plus theta, 180 minus theta, 360 plus minus theta, sine will be in sine, no change would be there, right? But in this case now what is the angle, right? 90 plus theta, sine 90 plus theta. 90 plus theta is second quadrant, right? Second quadrant, sine is positive or negative. Just think, sine is positive or negative. We know that all sine, tan, cos means all positive, sine, cosec positive, tan, cot positive, cos, sec positive, right? So second quadrant sine is positive. You have to see the sign of this is positive. So you have to write positive. 90 minus theta is first quadrant, all positive. So you have to write down positive. 270 minus theta, which quadrant we are? Third quadrant, sine is negative. So I'm writing negative. 270 plus theta, fourth quadrant, we have to see the sign of, again, this, you are getting negative of this, right? Now, go for cos. Cos second quadrant, positive or negative? This is negative, so start with negative. Cos 90 minus theta will be positive. 270 minus theta will be negative. Third quadrant, right? You have to see sign of this. Just like we have applied all this thing on cos, so you have to see the sign of this. What is coming? We have not to see the sign of that. What we are in which we are applying, we have to see the sign of only those cosine or sine or tangent formula, right? And in the fourth quadrant, this will be positive, right? Tan, we have to see the sign of tan, right? 90 plus theta, second quadrant negative, 90 minus theta, positive, third quadrant positive, fourth quadrant negative, right? Sec, right? Sec is the opposite of cos, right? So same with cos, negative, positive, negative, and the fourth quadrant, it will be positive, right? This is for 90 plus minus theta, odd multiple of theta, right? Now, if we are going for all the other part, right, 180 plus theta, so this will be sine only, means sine theta only. This will be sine theta only. This will be sine theta only, but we have to see the sign of this, right? This will be positive or negative. This will be cos theta only. This will be cos theta only. This will be cos theta only. Again, this will be tan theta only, right? Then we have to see this for the sign. It's coming as positive or negative, right? Again, this will be sec. Sec theta, sec theta, and sec theta, right? Now, see, sine 180 minus theta, right? Second quadrant, sine is positive. We have seen in this, right? Third quadrant, negative. Fourth quadrant, negative. Cos theta, second quadrant, negative. Third quadrant, negative. Fourth quadrant, positive, right? You have to just see the sign of this. Again, I'm saying you have to see sign of tan. For tan, second quadrant, negative. Third quadrant, positive. Fourth quadrant, negative. Sec theta, right? Second quadrant, negative. Third quadrant, negative. Fourth quadrant, positive. So how to decide this will be positive or negative, right? This will be positive or negative, and accordingly we have to judge this, right? So let's see how we can go for that, right? So few of the question will apply there, right? And then we have to find exactly what will be the value and how to go for the values, right? If I'm writing sine 180 plus theta into cos 90 plus theta, right, into tan 270 degree minus theta into cot 360 degree minus theta, right? So everything I have taken, right? So we know that sine 180 plus theta. So third quadrant, this will be sine only with negative sign to sine theta into cos 90 plus theta. We know that cos 90 is second quadrant and 90 plus minus theta will be changing to sine only. This is sine theta, but second quadrant, this again a minus sign is coming there, right? Into tan 270 minus theta. 270 minus theta is third quadrant, right? Cot theta, and third quadrant tan is always positive. And cot 360, the fourth quadrant, cot is negative, and it will not change anything, right? So minus, 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 3 minus sign, so minus sign, sine square theta into cot square theta, that I can write as cos square theta by sine square theta, right? We can cancel out and you are getting minus cos square theta, right? The simplest form, right? We can go for this, right? Maybe you'll get the question in different form, or maybe it's written is in the form of like sine square pi upon 18 plus sine square pi upon 9 plus sine square 7 pi upon 18 plus sine square 4 pi by 9. See, the value of pi, we know that this is 180 degree, right? Value of pi is 180 degree, and like we have to use this value, either we have to use 180 degree or we can go with the basic formula of this, right? See, this is pi upon 18, right? So we can use the formula as sine square pi by 18, right? So pi by 18 is same as if I'm writing pi by 2 minus 4 pi by 9. 9 minus 8 will be, right, 1 pi upon 18, right? So this angle can convert into this form, right? So if I'm writing like pi by 8 as pi by 2 minus this, and I'm applying sine both sides, so sine of pi by 18 or square of this, right, is equals to sine square pi by 2 minus 4 pi by 18. And sine pi by 2 minus theta is nothing but cos square 4 pi by 18. The best way, right? So this number is converting into cos square theta. And we know that this cos square theta plus sine square theta is nothing but 1 only. So look into this, right? These two. sine square pi by 9, sine square 7 pi by 18, right? Sine square. So if you want to just convert this 7 pi by 18, 7 pi by 18 is, we can write this as pi by 2 minus pi by 2. And this go for 9, right? 9 minus 2 will be 7 pi by 18, right? Again, I'm applying sine square. So sine square 7 pi by 18 is equals to pi by 2 minus, this will go for cos square pi by 9. Means I'm converting this number into cos square pi by 9, and sine square pi by 9 is given. So sum of these two will be 1, and already we have seen sum of these two will be 1. So the beautiful question, and like easily you are getting the answer as 2, right? So this is the application part. When we have to convert sine cos into the different function, right? We can easily go for that, right? Maybe you'll get the question in this form, like if it is given that a plus b plus c is pi, right? It is given a plus b plus c is pi, and you have to find value in the form of cos of a plus b plus cos of c, right? What is the value of this? See, cos of a plus b, right? So a plus b plus c is in a triangle is pi. So we can write a plus b is equal to pi minus c. So this will be cos of pi minus c plus cos of c. Now cos pi minus c, we know that pi is 180 degree and minus c, right? So c is a positive angle. So this is in the second quadrant. In second quadrant, 180 is a plus minus, so this will not change. Cos will be in cos, right? So this will be cos of c with minus sign, right? And there is a plus of cos c. So cancelling both this thing, we are getting again number 0 on this, right? Maybe you'll get the question for, like in the case, what is the value of cos of a plus b by 2? And you have to give your answer is in the form of c, angle c. See, so in this form, or in this format, we can say, right, the equation is given a plus b plus c is equal to pi, right? In this form, a plus b plus c is equal to pi. So a plus b by 2, a plus b by 2 will be a plus b by 2. So we can find a plus b by 2 is equals to pi by 2 minus c by 2, right? Pi by 2 minus c by 2, if I'll apply cos both sides, so this will be cos of pi by 2 minus c by 2, and this is sine of c by 2, right? It's the simplest thing, but we have to apply this. Pi by 2 minus c by 2, pi by 2 is this angle, and minus of c by 2 means this must be in first quadrant. And first quadrant, this will be positive. Accordingly, you can go for that, right? So maybe you'll get angles are like sine 600 degree into cos of 390 degree, right? Plus cos of 480 degree into sine of 150 degree, right? Sine of, right, this is given 600 degrees. 600 is 3 into pi plus pi by 3. 54, 540 plus 60, right? 3 pi. You can see there the 3 pi is, this is 1 pi, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi. 3 pi plus theta will be in the third quadrant. Third quadrant sign will be negative. So this is coming as minus of sine pi by 3 cos 390. Obviously in the first quadrant 360 plus 30 degree to cos pi by 6 plus cos 480 degree, right? So we can go for cos 360 and right 360 degree plus 120 degree, or is in the second quadrant with minus cos pi by 3, right? And sine 150 is sine is in the second quadrant positive. This will be pi by 6. And now all the angles are the known angles. We know the values of everything. Both are same with minus sign. So minus common from there. This will be root 3 by 2 the whole square, right? And this value cos pi by 3 and sine pi by 6 both are the same values, 1 by 2. So this 1 by 2 we are getting as the square of that number, 1 by 2 the whole square, right? So overall what we are getting, right, 3 by 4 and both the values are given. So in this form we can say if our values are, right, coming as 1 and with minus sign. So overall we are getting the value as, right, minus 1, right? So this type of question when we have to solve, right, minus 1, right? So these type of question we have to solve, we have to try to find the values in between, right, between 0 to 90, and then easily we can solve the question, right? So these are the basic things, but we have to apply these concept into the question. So next class we'll start the compound angles and all. So just practice these questions, will apply the concept, right? Thank you.